The real reason I got into photography, I think, was it was just an extension of what I was already doing. So I started out at 5, 6, 7 years old as I used to illustrate and draw. And what I realized, because I used to actually hate photography as a medium, because I was a bit of a purist in the sense where I thought of myself as an artist, and only artists draw, everyone else isn't an artist. But what happened over time is that I realized drawing is just like a really long exposure photograph. Like it just takes you a little longer to get there, but all the same elements apply. One of the first cameras actually that I played around with was a friend of mine. Before I even owned any camera, it was a Fuji, I think it was the XT100 or it was the XT20, like the X series, a very small street photography camera, and I just played around with it a couple of times, took a few photos, and I really fell in love with the immediacy and how nondescript it was. So like we would walk the streets of Johannesburg, take stills of people just in their everyday lives, and no one would see us. It was a nice way to kind of capture, especially black faces, just going about their daily lives. And the reason I got this Fujifilm was actually a couple of years ago. I was traveling to China and I had another DSLR which was a lot chunkier. It was just too noticeable, and it was cumbersome, and it was too much to travel light with. And I did some research, and I remembered having played around with the old Fuji that a friend of mine had, and I thought, well, this is kind of one of the first camera makers that ever existed. They make nice, sturdy camera bodies that I could work with, and I could go around unnoticed, walking the streets of China, which is already a hard thing as a young black man in a place with 1 billion Asian people. But you know, I took some really amazing photographs, which actually ended up getting featured on the Fuji sites, which was really cool. But this is like my companion and everyday kind of friend, where I remember that I've always got it in my car, in my boots, and if I see something really interesting or I talk to somebody, I capture things that I wouldn't have otherwise. Especially in Johannesburg as well, you can just fly through the streets and capture the realities without imposing or becoming noticed in them, and that's a big reason why I appreciate the Fuji body and the way that it's made, but also the functionality and the ease with which you can just start using it. I just have an appreciation for tools that help you to express yourself, and that's what this has done by and large, because photography has literally changed my world, like from working a 9 to 5 and being stuck in an office to helping to become a voice to, you know, show beautiful black people across the spectrum, and that's what these tools have allowed me to do, and that's, I guess, what I appreciate more than anything. I'm Anthony Bila, otherwise known as the Expressionist, and I love to create.